Thanks for joining us for our 40th anniversary edition of LaGuardia News. This week, we take a look back at how LaGuardia has evolved over the past 40 years and discover what gave the school its unique personality. In September 1971, LaGuardia Community College opened its doors for its first semester with 537 students.
I grew up not far from here in Astoria. I remember Long Island City long before LaGuardia came along, and it was a pretty desolate place. And LaGuardia, for 40 years, I think LaGuardia has breathed life into Long Island City.
You know, our oldest building is named Schenker Hall, and it's named after Joe Schenker, who was the first president here. He became president of LaGuardia Community College when he was 29 years old. Here's somebody who, as a young man, had started this with lots of ideas and lots of innovation.
I was watching TV at home, and you know, CUNY has its own station, and it was a newsreel from the late 1960s, and some guy talking about a new community college in CUNY, and I realized, look, I said, that's got to be Joe Schenker, and it was one of the original pieces of footage of Joe Schenker at one of these meetings.
Our present plans for a new community college calls for a number of changes from the present structure. Times are changing.
Talking about what would become LaGuardia Community College, and I said, wow, there's the very beginning of it. They're planning, you know, I'm watching this newsreel of them planning LaGuardia, and here I am at LaGuardia.
When I look back, I see basically the courage it took for people to create this college, to name it after a very, very important mayor in New York City.
Fiorello LaGuardia, mayor of New York City for 3 consecutive terms, was known as a dynamic and aggressive leader and a fighter for those who struggled financially. His focus was to push boundaries by giving the people an honest administration and an honest city government.
Are we going to have more schools if you become mayor? Certainly. And I can do that without additional costs to the taxpayers, by economic administration of our school system, by honest purchase of lands for schools, by an honest system of contracting. Let all the money of the taxpayers go into schools instead of politicians.
Dr. Gail Mello, LaGuardia's president, carries on the same views that Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia fought for many years ago.
We want to educate a very different populace, and I really think that the power of community college is to embrace that diversity and to look at that within a business model would really allow us to broadly educate the low-income students that we need to educate.
40 years and over 200 semesters later, LaGuardia Community College breaks its own enrollment record, with over 60,000 students registered for the fall 2011 semester, the largest number in the college's history.
At 11 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when you have students streaming back and forth on Thompson Avenue, and you realize what vitality and energy there is here.
This is really, to my mind, the #1 community college in the country. And so I'm just delighted to be here. 11 years later, I'm still happy to come to work every day. Where will we be 40 years from now? What will this place look like? What will education look like? And given the changes in technology, I think those are open questions, and I think they're questions that the faculty and students at LaGuardia are going to help define.
Whatever honors you accrue here at LaGuardia or beyond, remember, those honors are for what you have already done. It doesn't mean you stop trying to achieve.
I think we are on the cutting edge of experimentation, and so part of what will happen in the next 40 years, I think, is going to start right here at LaGuardia.
I'm Holly Salentano. On behalf of the entire LaGuardia News team, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.